Hey everybody, Dr. Sanderson here, and welcome to Module 6 of our course, which is on technology, biology, and health with a specific focus on neoevolution. I think this is probably one of the more unique topics that we cover in this course, and I'm really excited to see your thoughts about it in your video blog post. And in fact, several of you throughout the course have already hit on some of the elements of neoevolution when you've talked about things like 3D printing and how that can be used for human prosthetics. So what I wanted to do is just go over the requirements for the video blog post briefly and then say a little bit about the final project milestone that you will also submit in this module as well. So through the course readings and then through your own research, and I'll post some additional resources as well, the first thing you need to do in your video blog post is define neoevolution and say what you think it is. And there are just so you know, there's different definitions out there that people have of it. So find the one that you think makes the most sense to you and use that. The definition that I tend to like the most is the one that says neoevolution is about defining or humans taking more intervention in the evolutionary process and perhaps maybe even trying to speed up the evolutionary process. So really it's humans trying to manipulate what might be considered the natural ways of evolution. And so what you're going to then do is find an example of neoevolution and talk about the benefits and drawbacks of that. So one instance of neoevolution that comes to mind for me is parents having the ability to manipulate the hair color, the skin color, and the eye color of their children. And so I think on one hand that can be, that can be good in the sense that if a parent, has certain characteristics that they want their children to have, I think maybe giving parents some agency in that is not necessarily a bad thing. But on the flip side of that, I think it's not too much of a stretch to kind of see, what else that might lead to and what else that technology could eventually, produce. So for instance, could you kind of customize your child to a particular skill set? So if you wanted them to be a great athlete or if you wanted them to be a great musician, would there be the potential to do that? And then I think, there's also some valid criticisms of this in the sense of, those differences that we have, make us unique. That's what makes our, society good, is that we're not all the same. And in fact, there's some really interesting kind of older sci-fi examples from the Twilight Zone that kind of talk about everyone being the same and what that might look like and how that could be problematic. Another thing you'll be asked to talk about is the moral or ethical implications of neoevolution. And I think one thing that will probably come up for most of you is the question about playing God, quote, playing God. So, for instance, should we be able to, as humans, play that kind of role in, when kids are born? Should we be able to determine what characteristics they have? Should we be able to manipulate and maybe enhance our weaknesses? So for instance, if there's technology out there that can make us, eradicate disease, I mean, that's clearly a good thing, but what else might that be used for? And I think another, this has just been on my mind because of the new Star Wars film, but, if you're familiar with the Star Wars films, there was cloning in Star Wars. And so I think, what is the potential to, eventually, and I don't see this in the short term by any means, but is there potential to clone humans, and what implications might that have for government and society? And then the last thing you're going to do is basically just make an argument for whether we should continue with neoevolution or not. So again, I'm really looking forward to what you come up with there. Those will be due by Sunday at 11:59 Eastern Time. And then also this week you're going to do a final project milestone where you submit the first section of your presentation with audio narration on the slides. And in the module resources, it will give you some different programs you can use to do that. PowerPoint is fine. That's kind of the more common one that people use. By first section of the presentation, I would say that's either your first 3 to 4, maybe 5 slides, or if you wanted to do your introduction section, that would be fine. But it's just basically to get you comfortable with the audio or video recording of the slides, and again, that'll be due by Sunday at 11:59 Eastern as well. There is also an optional discussion forum 6-3, where you can post your presentation and get feedback. That's not required. That's simply up to you. And again, just let me know if you have any questions along the way. But I'll look forward to getting both those assignments from you, and I hope you all have a great week, and we'll talk soon.